Today we're going to reminisce a little bit and self-evaluate. We're looking at movies that had like ideas that came true, different concepts that found themselves in our modern day culture, technologies that were present back then that have now come to fruition.
Or they didn't, and they were way the fuck off.
Yeah, when the progress from when the fantastic became the mundane.
Right. You want to start? You want me to do it?
Well, you got one in mind?
V for Vendetta, the most referenced movie on this show.
A show should just be called Our Vendetta.
Yeah, it should just be called Reality.
Yeah.
R for Reality. um, yeah, I mean, it was technically set in like 2021 or 2022 when it was supposedly happening. So I didn't know that like the first 3 times I watched it, and then I started to kind of wonder after a while with all the things that were unfolding in real life. I was like, I wonder when this was supposed to be. And I thought like 2030 or something.
Right.
Nope. Same year that I was watching it. I was like, oh my God. And it was a little bit mind blowing. And the things that happened in that movie was happening while I was watching it. Because we were like locked down.
Yeah. Height of COVID.
Height of COVID. I was
St.
watching.
Mary's virus.
We still had to go to work. Like, the majority of the population was sitting at home. Should have been watching V for Vendetta, but they weren't.
Mandatory lockdowns and curfews.
Curfews. Gotta wear a mask.
Yeah, gotta wear a mask.
I should have got one of those and went to work, the Guy Fawkes mask. That would have been dope. But anyway. So, there's a government program, government thing.
Norse Fire Party.
Lockdown, fucking virus. After the virus, it's like still locked down. So many things.
State-sponsored surveillance.
Yeah, spying
NSA.
on you. Fucking, you can't say anything anymore. If you do, you're like blackballed or slandered.
State-controlled media, the news channel and everything else.
It was, because, I'm a conspiracy theorist. And I've seen the movie before, but it was never more relevant than like right at that moment. I was like, oh my God. What the fuck? It's a prediction. And when was that shit made? Like early 2000, 98?
2006.
Somewhere in there. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is just literally awesome happening. And I had to have a piece of paper, you remember? We had to have the laminated piece of paper to go to work and shit. And I actually got pulled over once on the way to work. There's like nobody on the fucking road.
Right.
The closest thing I've ever seen to like The Walking Dead. There's just nobody except for cops. And then I'm like, so I got pulled over and they're like, oh, what are you doing out here? I'm like, I'm going to work. Oh, well, we're in lockdown. I'm like, okay, Nazi, here's my paper. And I was like, this is so fucking authoritarian
Uber
feeling.
douche.
Yeah, so they let me go because I had my fucking stupid paper, but it was really strange time for me anyway, because I'm like, man, this feels bad, So luckily, we seem to have gotten a little bit past that anyway, for now. That's like the major one on my list is V. I got some more, but I watch movies religiously.
Let's talk about one of the next biggest ones, The Matrix.
Yeah.
Simulated realities.
You know when that was set? 2021.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, right? That when you really start to, and like, there's so many. When you really start to look, it's so many.
Woman in the red dress. You saw her? I added that in.
Yeah. There's so many, dude.
Between the Neuralink project, even just Scientists have been using supercomputers to replicate models of just raw statistical data. Like your weather system is projected by like two or three supercomputers.
Klystron 9.
Yeah, they named them. They're all fucking super proud of them. And
Shit sounds like some shit from gassing people,
yeah, it
doesn't
does.
it?
Um, but that concept of just being able to predict uh, really abstract and complicated models has come into popular culture. You had VR was like a kind of novelty, back in the 80s and 90s, and
Mm-hmm.
then right now it's so mainstream. VR chat, there's a lot of video games. Um, there's a program called Chat GPT. Most people are familiar with it. Uh,
Scary as fuck.
and there's another program, XA something, that allows you to create new dialogue based off of, like, it'll synthesize voices based off of audio clips.
It's pretty
So
fucking accurate too.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Scary accurate.
So if I were utilizing that right now, I could sound like Samuel L. Jackson, right?